Welcome to the Dawn Osborne Show, Limitless Life. The big question women like you and I ask is, how do we do that? How do we have a growth mindset? How do we increase our emotional intelligence? How do we do life, business and marketing, and yet still remain balanced in the rhythm of our life and our family? Those are the questions that this podcast will answer. My name is Dawn Osborne, and welcome to my Limitless Life podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to WOW Women. I have the beautiful Cianna with me today. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to get the beautiful Cianna to share with us some wisdom. But before we do that, let me just tell you a bit about this young girl. I'll tell you what, I absolutely love her. We've had a bit to do with each other probably for about 2 years, do you reckon? Yeah. 18 months, 2 years. I absolutely love her. She actually did some PT with me and nearly killed me, but that's all right. That's all right. I have lived to tell the story. Guess what? I have not got her to give me a PT session again. I'm joking. She's just been so busy. Look, she's a huge influencer. She's on Instagram and she influences thousands of people. But this girl has beauty inside and out, and she has an amazing story. She is a transformed life, and I wanted her to come today and just share a bit of her story about what's going on with her and how she's been transformed, but also to share with you guys watching some wisdom, because on her journey she's come from pain, some painful situations, and she's learned some stuff along the way, and I know that it's going to really help some of you out there, especially if you've got some young girls or you've got young daughters, or we've got young women that are watching this. This is really going to help you. So I encourage you to stay tuned, listen up, share this, tag some of your young girls in who would just need to hear this story, because it's a beautiful story of beauty inside and out. And so let's get to Cianna. Okay, tell me about your transformational story.
Okay, so from the beginning or from just recently?
Well, you go. Tell us where, so tell us a little bit about your background, because there's some people who don't know who you are. So just tell us where you've come from, sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. All right. So basically I grew up in a little bit of a broken family. Both my parents became alcoholics, and I ended up moving out as soon as I could. And I ended up kind of having to find my own way and doing everything myself. And I remember one year I moved house 7 times, and it was not okay. It was really terrible. And I don't know, I just started from someone who had to figure everything out herself, and it wasn't easy. But until I guess I found my faith, and I found God, and awesome. He started giving me the right answers and the right kind of paths to take, and he just kept putting me in situations that would grow me, situations I'd be so uncomfortable, but I always had this weird faith that I'd get through it. Awesome. And as long as I just kept seeking him first, I would, and I did. And but yeah, no, my background, I guess, is just come from a bit of a broken family, but now I'm so free of that. I'm no longer in the bondage of that held me down from that. And I do believe when I was going through my period where I was really lost, I was so seeking fame, and I was actually in the fitness industry. Yeah, and I was seeking. I had everything going for me as well, and I was just so fixated on becoming this fitness figure, and I was well on my way to doing it until I guess my health declined. I actually wanted to get some breast implants, because I was told in the gym one day, you're not going to make it any further unless you do get breast implants. Wow. And when I went and did the procedure, saved up my money, did it. I did it out of anger. I was like, I don't want them, but I feel like I need them. I need them for my confidence. Wow. I need them for everything, to go pursue and become this famous fitness model that I thought I was going to be. And so I got them, and it was from the moment I got them, my health just declined and declined and declined. And it got to the point where now my digestive system isn't working properly, and my hormones are all out of whack, and my body I couldn't lose weight anymore. So that blew my fitness model career out the door. But I was still well and truly in the health and fitness industry, but God was definitely working with me to help me, I guess, come out of all of the trials and tribulations that I went through with my declining health. And finding my new identity in him, and just heaps of stuff like that. So I don't know, I still feel like God's working in me. Like, I really do feel like our whole life is a transformation. I don't feel like I'm never going to find my end result, because I'd be perfect. We're never going to be perfect.
never. We just have to accept who we are. And before we started filming, you talked about rejection. Do you want to, because a lot of us have felt rejection in our past and our childhoods, and it causes so much problems, even with you saying, you know, you basically wanted to get the boobs so that you wouldn't be rejected, right? So do you want to, you know, unpack that first a little bit?
Yeah. So basically, when I was all throughout high school, I was a swimmer. I was a national swimmer, competing in New Zealand, Australia, all over Australia. And at this point, I was super fit but had no boobs, and I would have massive thighs, and I was just not like your regular girl. I was very athletic, and I would get bullied. I got bullied all throughout my schooling. I got bullied by boys, especially. I remember my first memory in year 4, a boy said to me, "Well done, you just won all your races." And I was like, "Oh, no, thank you so much." And all these other boys came up behind him and just looked straight at my thighs and yelled, "Thunder thighs, thunder thighs, thunder thighs." That was in grade 4, and I can still remember that. But it was from that moment on where I didn't escape that. And it just kept telling me I was never good enough. I was never good enough. And then having my home life, like my dad never really loved us enough, you know, like, and not having that relationship. I always felt like I was never good enough, and I was always trying to please people. And I remember even after high school, you know, we'd go to festivals and things like that, and people would get upset because you wouldn't do something, but the other person would be happy because you looked after them, or it would just be something so ridiculous, but you would realize you can't please everyone. And that killed me, because that really hit my spirit of rejection, because I always felt like I was never good enough, and I'm always trying to please someone. And I remember this, you know, the moment I realized it, I think it was 2015. And I remember I came to the conclusion that, you know, if someone came up to me and said, "I don't like you," I would, you know, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, you'll just blah, blah, blah." I would instantly say, "What can I do to help? Like, can I fix this? Like, is there something I can do better?" Like, that was my actual thought process. Like, I couldn't get out of the whole, you know, you're not good enough. You're never going to be good enough. I don't know. It was insane. So that led me to more of like a lack of confidence, and I guess wanting to get the boobs so I could further please people and further impress people and find fame and fortune. And
Wow, that is a huge story about the fear of rejection. And that, you know, I've done a lot of work on fear and how fear operates in life. And basically, to avoid rejection, you just did what everybody else wanted, so that you became useful and you would become accepted and loved and you belonged. And that's huge for young girls, but even women, you know, even us older women, you know, we still have moments of fear of rejection, but that's awesome. So fast track us now to the moment where you have made the decision to, you know, remove the boobs. So
okay, so despite all my autoimmune illnesses and these medical conditions that came with the foreign object in my body, I had a huge revelation that I just became not one with them. I didn't want them anymore. I instantly was like, they not only did they hurt me, but they serve me no purpose anymore. Like, I no longer want these bolted onto my chest, because my priorities have completely changed. And it wasn't, you know, if it wasn't for all the health and the symptom issues, and me reaching out to more specialists and all that kind of jazz, I probably wouldn't have come to the conclusion that it was these that were making me ill. Like, I've reached out to so many women, went on to so many support groups, and I found some really amazing supportive women that had the same symptoms and issues as me. And so going through with the explant was now no longer, like, it was the only option. I wanted to get rid of them. But I had an amazing revelation the day after I got them out, and I looked in the mirror. Should I tell them now, or should I tell them later? And like,
this is your show. You are the WOW woman. You go for it. You tell them whatever's coming out of your heart.
No, I honestly, because leading up to the explant, I was like, you know, I remember crying to my husband I was like, it couldn't come sooner. It couldn't come sooner. Like, it just couldn't come any sooner. And he'd be like, it's all right. You've only got another month until you get them out. And I remember actually getting a call from the medical. I prayed so hard. I was like, God, please, can I just get them out sooner? Like, I'm so sick of living this way. I have no energy. I'm just sad all the time and this and that. And I got a phone call from the office, the medical office, and they said, hi, unfortunately, your doctor's going to be away on the date of your surgery. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be pushed back even further. But it was a complete blessing. They said, are we able to push it forward 20 days? And I was like, God,
there you go, woman of faith, see? So woman of faith. He just called into the Lord and he brought it.
He did. He just saw me crying out. I wanted it so badly. And not just to get rid of the symptoms, but because they're annoying and they get in the way. Anyway, so the revelation that I had leading up to it, I was feeling more and more loved by God, and I felt more and more beautiful in who I was. I don't know, my mind just started thinking differently, and I was being proactive. Whenever a thought of like a rejection thought would come in, I'd be like, no, that's not right, and I would just get better at handling that. But it was the day after I got them out, and I was in the hospital room, and I remember looking in the mirror. I remember just looking in the mirror, and I just, despite like the pipes coming out of me and the bandages and the nursing outfit and the no makeup and the freckles and the pimples, despite all of it, I just finally looked at myself and I felt beautiful. Oh. I felt so beautiful, and that was the revelation that I had, and it was almost as if like God was with me, and he was looking at me through my eyes and showing me how he saw me. And I just cried so much. I could probably cry right now because it was a revelation that I had, and I actually finally felt so beautiful instead of feeling so rejected and never good enough.
Wow. Wow. Okay, this is
I don't want to cry.
But you know what? This is important. This is real, guys. This is a real story, real emotions. And you know, when you've come from pain, which Cianna has shared with you, and now she's come into a place of just perfect acceptance, and she's found this love, and it's not revolved around the way that she looks. This is a huge transformation. And I mean, some of you out there might be relating to Cianna's story. You know, we've done things in our lives that we've done to try and please someone else, to try and avoid rejection, and it's painful, and I'm just I'm wowed. I am wowed by you, Cianna, and I just love your authenticity and your realness. And there'll be someone watching this. I guarantee there is someone watching this that this will touch, and it will encourage you to, whatever you need to get out of you, anything that's holding you back in life, anything that's keeping you bound, if you like. Let Cianna be a testimony of it. You can make it. You can come out of a painful situation, come out of fear of rejection, and you can come into a place of liberation and to see your own beautiful. And that's not a prideful thing either. It's just going, oh my gosh, I am loved and I am accepted and I'm okay. I'm okay, so.
And the whole like not caring what people thought, and it wasn't coming from an ignorant place. It wasn't coming from a place where, oh, I don't care what anyone thinks of me. I just genuinely no longer cared what people thought of me. Wow. No longer cared if I had to impress anyone. Like I just didn't. That care factor was gone.
Yeah,
it was crazy. It was really amazing.
Awesome. Well, that's wonderful. I'm wowed. I'm wowed. I can imagine some of our viewers will be like, wow. This girl's amazing. Okay, share with us. So let's go into our tips. So Cianna's going to share with us some pieces of wisdom. So listen up, ladies.
They're wisdom.
They are wisdom. They are wisdom. Pain brings wisdom. It truly does. So here we go. Far away, Cianna.
So my tip number 1 is it had to happen. So I say that because you always hear people say, oh, everything always happens for a reason. That phrase, everything always happens for a reason. And for a while I believed it until I had another revelation that, I don't think that that's true anymore, because if everything happened for a reason, then that means that the reason is the conclusion of a decision you made in your life previously. So it's, so like.
I got to think about that.
Like, okay.
Say it again.
So, let me reread it. You see, yes, everything happens for a reason, but that reason is the conclusion of a decision you made in your life previously. So when everything happens for a reason.
Got it.
It's a decision that you've made.
Yep.
And it can be good or bad. And I guess my point is, like, depending on the decision that you made, it can be poor or it can be great. So when I say it had to happen, I like to think of things like more of like it was a decision that you've made, and it's an opportunity in a way. So the decision that you've made is an opportunity, and it will, no matter what happens, I mean, if you look to God, it will always turn to good. Yeah. And I didn't want to go too much into the Bible scripture, but there was just one scripture that really spoke to me. And it says, and we, that in all things God works for good of those who love him, for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. So, you know, you could be so far away from where you need to be based on a lot of decisions that you've made. But the way that I see it is, God doesn't just take you and bring you back to where you need to be. You could be all the way over here and you need to be up here. But God will use all of that you've been through, bring it with you to where you need to be, and turn it to good. So in the end, yes, everything happens for a reason, but it's all through decisions that you've made. Yeah. You know, and you'll never make a bad one when you've got God on your side. I just know that. I know that now. And it's really cool. So despite getting the boobies in 2015 out of anger and rage and wanting to be something that I wasn't, God's not only taken me through 3 years of absolute agony, but he's actually turned it to good. And now I can help influence. So many girls have been messaging me, Cianna, I was planning on getting boobs. Like, I've always been itty bitty titty committee. And now I finally, you know, I have a chance to have some boobs on my chest. And now I don't want to, because I've seen your story and I feel like I don't need them anymore. I could go through heaps of messages that I've gotten, and it's touching for me knowing that my story is actually helping women as well, and educating women, because I didn't get educated before I got them. I didn't do my research either. I didn't care. I just wanted to have boobs, and that's all I cared about. But it had to happen. That's what I like to say. It had to happen.
Okay, that's huge. I'll be watching the replay of this. So, tip 2.
Okay. I've got them in my notes. So number 2 is smile through your trials.
Oh, that's nice.
So this word of advice is for anyone who feels clouded by their circumstances. Sometimes we can just be so clouded that we feel like there's no escaping. None of us want to be like that. And that's where we need to start seeing trials as opportunities. And this has helped me heaps. So every trial and tribulation I came across, my car got stolen in 2015, moved house 7 times in 2015. So many adverse things happened to me in 2015, but every single one of them, I got through it. And I was like, wow, if I can get through that, well, anyone can get through that. And I'm using this now as an opportunity to help other people that have gone through that. Yeah. So if you're going through a trial and you're facing a trial or a tribulation, I just want to encourage you that, you know, be proactive in your thinking and really start to realize, hey, this sucks, but I am going to use this as an opportunity to strengthen myself and the other people around me, so that when they see me, they go, wow, didn't you just crash your car and you have to pay like $1,000? And you'll just smile and say, yeah, it sucks, but it's all right. Like, you know what I mean? It's happened to me. And people just go, wow, at your response. So that was my point 2. Smile through your trials. I know it's hard, but you get better at it, and life, you just feel so much better in your life as a whole.
Cool.
All right, and number 3, it is the big one. It's just believe you're beautiful. And I've kind of got 2 definitions of beautiful. So the world defines beautiful as pleasing the senses or mind aesthetically. So the way I see that is it's physical. It's very physical. So it's just pleasing the senses or mind aesthetically, with adjectives like good looking, handsome, and pretty. But I know and I believe now that God defines beautiful as fearfully and wonderfully made, with adjectives like valuable, new, and transformed. And it's so insane, because that has so much more value to it than just a physical appearance. Because not only is your value in your transformation and your whole new self, God's going to make you new. Like that, just knowing that just gets rid of the pressure of having to look a certain way. and this hits me like in the heart, because this has been my trouble for the last 23 years. I never believed I was beautiful. You know, some people would tell me I was, and some people would tell me I wasn't. So I was like, well, what do I do with that? You know, like, I can't please everyone. What am I going to do? And it just always had so much anxiety about being beautiful. And it was just, especially in my industry, health and fitness industry, you have to look the part. And I really caved with that. But I just have found this super reassurance with, especially after my explant transformation, like just knowing that I don't need to worry and it doesn't matter. Like just knowing that advice, and I think that comes through a revelation. I'm not really sure. Like you can be definitely proactive, and that's what I used to do before I had my revelation was, you know, I'd leave a conversation and say, oh, I bet you had food in your tooth the whole time that you just spoke to them. Oh my God, they're going to think you're a complete silly head. And then I would leave and be like, you know what, Cianna, doesn't matter. Be proactive, change your thinking. Dwelling on it isn't going to help anything. And then reinforce your mind with nice, I guess, complimentive thoughts. You are beautiful. You deserve the best. Like this, that. You can be happy. It doesn't matter. Life's too short. And that's what I would use to do. And that helped me heaps.
That's so good.
So even though I had an amazing revelation now, I still did things to believe I was beautiful back then. But I had to completely rewire my brain. So
I love it.
Believe you're beautiful.
You are a transformed life. And you don't, not only will you transform bodies, but now you're going to be able to transform people's identity away from doing things based on fear, but moving into just being love and accepting who they are. And it's a real story of beauty inside and out. So, all right, let's just summarize the tips real quick. Number one was, number one was,
it had to happen.
Number two was,
smile through your trials.
And number three?
Believe you're beautiful.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you. That was amazing. I love the fact that you were just so real, and I could feel the tears welling up myself. So, hey guys, thank you for joining us. I know a few of you have joined us. Share this show out, especially to the young girls who are getting. Look, I'm not against cosmetic surgery, like I really aren't. You know, there is a lot of people I know that have it, but if you are getting any form of cosmetic surgery based on a fear of other people, of rejection, or fear of what other people think, then it's not the right reason. You know, even if it's a boyfriend or something, you know, he says he'll only love you if you get boobs, like that is wrong. You're getting the boobs for the wrong reasons. So always check, you know, your motivation. Why am I doing this? Is this for me, or am I doing it so I can be loved and accepted by other people, or famous, you know? And I just see now that, Cianna, your world, I believe that you will be famous, but it'll be for a different reason. Not your boobs. All right. Okay. Thanks everybody for joining us. We will be back next week with another WOW Woman guest, but I know that has been amazing, and I thank you so much. So see you guys, and Cianna, if you want to follow Cianna, where can the people find you?
Oh, yes. All right. If you want to follow me, I've got my Self-Love Sister page, which is at your.self.love.sister, and then there's my personal page, which is just at Cianna.Marie.
And that's on Instagram.
Yeah.
She's an Instagram. I'm a Facebook girl. She's an Instagram girl.
Yeah.
So just I'll put it in the comments below so that you can find her and you can get your especially which one are you doing? You're unrevealing your story on which?
The Self-Love Sister.
Okay, so if you've got young girls, get them to follow the Self-Love Sister, because that's a really raw Instagram page with you know, the real boobless Cianna story, and it will inspire a lot of young girls, especially when we live in a world where there is messages all over the place about how we should look, what color hair we should have, what clothes we should, and you know, that our identity is based on our outward experience, and we want to counteract that message, and we want to put a different message out there. So that will help us do that by sharing this post. All right, we're definitely going. All right, see you guys. See you next time. Bye.